Hello everyone, how are you? In today's video, I will be sharing with you another interesting topics in human behavior, and that is how to handle anxiety and the 5 essential ways and how to overcome anxiety. In fact, in today's pandemic, some commentators describe our situation as the season of anxiety. In this topic, I will share to you what is anxiety? Why do we need to understand the impact of anxiety in our lives? What triggers the anxiety? Who are at risk for anxiety disorders? What will be the effects if anxiety will not be treated? And the most awaited in this topic will be the 5 essential ways to facing and overcoming anxiety, and how can we help other people with anxiety in our little way. For those who are new to my channel, I would like to welcome you. And for your information, I upload video once a week sharing about personal development, motivation, and inspirational topics that can help you to be the best version of yourself. Once again, my name is Dr. Renalyn Istilier, Professor of Organizational Behavior and Human Resource Management in the Graduate School of Business. If it's your first time here, be sure to subscribe and turn on the bell notification to get notified the next time I upload videos. Okay, let's get started. We all experience anxiety. It's a natural human state and an important part of our lives. Anxiety helps us to spot and answer danger in fight or flight mode. It can motivate us to face a difficult situation in our life. The right amount of excitement can help us perform better and stimulate action and creativity. But there is another side to anxiety. Persistent anxiety causes real emotional distress and may lead us to become unwell. The Mental Health Foundation survey in the United Kingdom says that, alarmingly, almost 1 in 5 people reveal that they feel anxious nearly all of the time or a lot of the time. Quite half respondents noticed that they're more anxious today than they were 5 years ago. The survey highlights finance, money, and debt can be a source of anxiety. Well, perhaps reflecting the impact of the pandemic, this COVID-19. There is numerous recession that is happening immediately. Company closure, people lost their jobs, and worse, they lost their loved ones. This causes psychological state problems too. What is anxiety? Everyone has feelings of anxiety at some point in their life, whether it is about preparing for a job interview. Can you relate to that? Or meeting with a client, or in a relationship, meeting the family of your boyfriend or girlfriend for the first time. Well, we associate anxiety with alterations to our mental state experience as worry or apprehension perhaps, and physical symptoms such as raised heart rate and adrenaline. We also understand that it is likely to affect us only temporarily until the source of our anxiety has passed or we have learned to cope with it. Therefore, anxiety is one of a range of emotions that serves the positive function of alerting us to things we might need to worry about, potentially harmful things. More importantly, these emotions help us to evaluate potential threats and properly respond to them, possibly by quickening our reflexes or focusing our attention. I got this definition from Mental Health Foundation, UK. Another writer differentiates between fear and anxiety. Crafted others in 2009, expressing the distinction in less mysterious terms, suggests the sudden rearrangement of your guts when an intruder holds a knife to your back, that is fear. Is different from mild nausea, dizziness, and butterflies in your stomach as you're about to make a difficult phone call. That is anxiety. Why do we need to understand the impact of anxiety in our life? Anxiety disorders are among the most prevalent psychiatric conditions in every country in the world that have been studied. Recent studies also suggest that chronic anxiety disorder may increase the rate of cardiovascular-related mortality, such as problems with blood pressure, depression, hypertension, cancer, psychiatric disorders, including depressive disorders, eating disorders. To some, they intend to have self-harm, and for some people who are not properly treated, it can lead to suicide. This is consistent with the study of the National Alliance on Mental Illness. What triggers the anxiety? Anxiety disorders like panic, phobias, and obsessive behaviors could also be triggered by traumatic memories, irrational hatred of specific objects, closeness to particular situations or physical locations, or an untiring worry that something bad will happen in the future. A defining characteristic of anxiety disorders is those psychological symptoms like irritability, difficulties concentrating, and depression become persistent and unpleasant. Many people also experience physical symptoms like heart palpitations, sweating, tensions and pain, heavy and rapid breathing, dizziness, fainting, indigestion, stomach aches, vomiting, and diarrhea. In acute cases, people have described how it felt as though they were dying. The lives of those with the foremost severe sorts of anxiety can become completely dominated by their condition, meaning they find it difficult to relax or achieve regular patterns of sleep, becoming stuck in circular patterns of thoughts that impair their ability to take care of preferred lifestyles, hold down employment, or sustain personal relationships. This is consistent with the Alliance on Mental Illness. Who are at risk for anxiety disorders? A mix of genetic and environmental factors can raise a person's risk for developing anxiety disorders. You may be at a higher risk if you've got or had certain personality traits such as shyness or behavioral inhibition, feeling uncomfortable with and avoiding unfamiliar people, situations, or environments, stressful or traumatic events in infancy or adulthood, family history of hysteria or anxiety or other psychological state conditions, certain physical conditions including thyroid problems and unusual heart rhythms. This is according to MikeLevelNetClinic.org. What will be the effect if anxiety will not be treated? According to research, untreated anxiety can cause other mental disorders like depression or drug abuse. People with anxiety, especially when not properly treated, have a better risk of suicide or self harm behaviors, and people with untreated anxiety may lead a life of isolation. This is according to the study of Health Central. Another study from Health Central mentioned that untreated anxiety was found to possess reduced functioning in physical health, even to the extent of patients with chronic illnesses like congestive coronary failure or diabetes. Other anxiety disorders will cause physical symptoms like fatigue or body aches and pains. These symptoms frequently cause people to lose time from work, visit the doctor or more often or seek medical treatment at the ER. In terms of relationships, people with untreated anxiety can have problems in their relationships. They feel misunderstood or become irritable. Some people find it difficult to take care of relationships and are often worried about the connection causing further strain. Here are the 5 essential ways on how to overcome anxiety. First, make time each day to exercise. According to Sports England, participation in physical activity is effective in reducing depression, anxiety, psychological distress, and emotional disturbance. Low to moderate physical exercise can reduce anxiety and have both short and long term beneficial effects on psychological health. Taking part in sport and spectating and have a positive impact on the well-being and happiness of young people. That's according to the Office for National Statistics in the UK 2014. Second is the mindfulness behavioral therapy. This can be a variation of cognitive behavior therapy wherein it focuses on changing the connection between the anxious person and his or her thoughts. This system is about helping people to experience the situation within the here and now. It does this by addressing the bodily symptoms experienced when someone is anxious. But instead of avoiding or withdrawing from these feelings, he or she remains present. Reviews of studies into mindfulness behavioral therapy (MBT) have found the approach features a strong positive effect upon mood and symptoms of individuals with anxiety disorders. Hoffman and others 2010 and Woolstead and others 2012. How does it work? It can also be helpful to consider this approach in terms of radio. Imagine that the negative thoughts that drift into your mind are coming from a loud radio that tuned to a station where the thoughts are very negative and appear to be shouting at you. The mindfulness skill isn't such a lot about trying to show the radio off but changing the way you hear the radio during this way. The quantity of the station is often reduced and thus seem to less disruptive and distressing. The third is the guided self-help. Guided self-help has become an increasingly popular way of offering treatment due to its low-cost adaptability to different sorts of digital and social media and its acceptability to people who might otherwise not receive treatment either for reasons connected with their anxiety or because of time pressure from commitments such as caring. Most guided self-help is predicated on cognitive behavioral approaches and aims to assist the persons experiencing anxiety achieve a level of recovery whereby they're ready to understand the nature of their anxiety and what is happening physiologically to them. That's according to Andrews 2010. In this guided self-help, they are then helped to develop the necessary skills to tolerate and cope with their anxiety by challenging and helpful thinking, evaluating their bodily symptoms realistically, and managing graded self-exposure to the source of their anxiety. Computerized cognitive behavioral therapy can be supported by reminders from a non-clinical technician or practice nurse or guided by a clinician via telephone, email, live links such as Skype, or posts on a private forum. Many areas of the country also have self-help groups that offer peer support. Andrews and others 2010 points out that a major advantage of this form of cognitive behavioral therapy is the level of treatment fidelity that can be achieved. Similarly, an evaluation of a web mindfulness course has shown promising leads in terms of the acceptability of the means of delivering help on people that might otherwise not receive treatment and its ability to decrease the anxiety experienced by course participants. That's according to Cruci and others 2013. Number four, the peer support. Maybe a system of giving and receiving help founded on key principles of respect, shared responsibility, and mutual agreement of what's helpful. That's according to me 2003. The advantages of peer support are evidenced during several studies about supporting individuals to self-manage their psychological state problems and for those whose psychological state is most in danger, like isolated older people, people with dementia. Identified key benefits of peer support are the power for the peer mentor to supply support, supported empathetic understanding, and from an edge of getting previous experience of developing coping skills for the actual set of problems encountered. Most of the research regarding people experiencing psychological state problems has not been specific to anxiety. However, there are indications From odd reference to children during transitions and other people adapting to life with long-term conditions, that peer support can provide a helpful approach in learning to deal with anxiety that uncertainty brings. In some organizations, peer support includes praying for those people with anxiety and sharing the meditation techniques. The last one, the medications. It is a must to have a prescription from your attending physician before taking any medicine for your anxiety. Among patients diagnosed with anxiety, approximately two-thirds are treated with medication. Antidepressants, accounting for nearly 80% of prescriptions, made bend this group, according to Martin Marino and others 2010. Pharmacological interventions are found to be effective at improving quality of life by reducing the symptoms of anxiety for a few patients. That's according to Hoffman and others 2013, although not for a big number, according to Ramedran and Steen 2010. We have come to an end of our topic about anxiety. So, how can we help other people with anxiety in our little way? If you are one of those who had experienced anxiety in the past and you were able to recover from this illness, your genuine voice can help in helping others by sharing the journey of your anxiety. Perhaps more significantly, your testimony when the time you're living with anxiety can become an appreciation of the role that it plays in shaping the lives of other people with this kind of illness. You may also encourage them to open up and get emotional support if they need it. You can also inspire them to visit the appropriate specialist that can help them diagnose their anxiety. And of course, by sharing this video, you will never know who might benefit from it. So please share this video with your friends and colleagues. And again, don't forget to subscribe. Again, thank you for giving me another opportunity to share with you my knowledge and experience. And thanks for watching. Keep safe.